Hello and welcome back to the Champion Draft Series, Season 2 this time. And joining us today, we have our only returning player from the last season. That's because she kind of won the whole damn thing. How you doing, Spidz?
I'm doing pretty well, and I'm excited to win again.
Okay. Loving that confidence right off the bat. All right, so for those who are just joining in this season and didn't see your conquest over the previous one, would you mind introducing yourself?
Sure. So my name is Spidz. I'm from Australia, and I play LOR rather competitively. I don't know when this is being uploaded, but I have topped the last two tournaments, and I did well in CDS Part 1. I also sporadically do casting, and I sporadically make YouTube videos.
Just a little bit of everything, and very good at all of it. Great stuff. Now, as mentioned previously, you are our only player this season who played in the previous season because you won. And a lot of other players have already mentioned like this in the interviews as like being something that's potentially a threat. Oh, she has a little bit more experience in this already. Now, in your opinion, do you believe that your experience in the previous season gives you a massive advantage over the rest of the competition? Or do you think that enough stuff has changed? We've got like a lot of new cards in the game. We have changed how draft works. We've changed a good bit of how the Champion Draft Series work. Do you think that it's like a completely new and open field, or do you think you have a good advantage into this season?
So I prepared a little something for this. We do this. I expect to remain comfy on my throne, able to exert my rule of law and power over everyone else. To be a bit more serious, I think there is some value in having had experience and, messing with the systems, knowing how to build decks, but I don't think it should be discounted like the effort others are able to put in and would have had experience in. So like Cephalopod, there was another draft series that Cephalopod put a bunch of work into and did quite well in. And Shardox, Cephalopod, and Sir Termund have all done really well in Aegis before, and so they've had practice in prepping for opponents and doing all that sort of process. So I don't think I will have more experience, especially with the deck creating and thinking about lineups and the drafting format, even though the drafting's a little bit different. And I think that will help carry me a little bit, especially through weeks 1 and 2, where everyone is extremely novice. But after about week 3 or 4, I think it might equalize, and it'll be tough for everyone, I think.
We will have to see, but very well put. Now, the draft, which at the time of this recording we haven't drafted yet, we don't know what your pick order even is going to be. Maybe you won't be last this time. But last season during the draft, you sort of afterwards expressed displeasure with your performance, and yet when we did trade weeks, you didn't change a single thing about your roster, and you ended up winning the whole thing. Do you still feel like after all of that your picks could still have been better? And if that is how you feel, what knowledge are you taking into this new draft with you?
Okay, I think that one of my issues when I first did the draft is it was hard for me to accept that I'm not going to get the perfect draft. That's just how drafts work. You're not going to get everything that you want. And I got a lot of things that I did want, but I didn't get Leona, and that hurt, man. And I wasn't able to remedy that even with my 2 Targon champions. It just didn't feel the same. So I think going into this the next season, I don't think that it's going to hit me as hard that I'm not going to get everything that I want. And I'm pretty happy with how my draft landed last time. I did some testing. I think 2 champions I only brought twice, and I think that sort of knowledge on maybe Thresh isn't as valuable as I thought he was, maybe Tarek isn't as great, I think will be something that I can bring with me. But I was by the end of it, I think I was happy with my draft, and you can see by the fact that I didn't do a trade week and I ended up winning, so that might have biased me a little bit, but I think it was good.
Well said, well said. Now, this season also different from last season. We have 2 more competitors. There's more champions in the game. We've expanded the roster from 8 to 10 players. Do you think that with this much more competition, especially with the really tough roster that we've built this season, a lot of strong competitive players, how confident are you in your ability to retain your title?
Look, I think I'm very laid back. I understand that it's unlikely. I think there's still a 10% chance. I think that a part of me wants to be super confident. I did the bit with the chair earlier, and I thought
it was a good bit.
I think there's some humor to be had in, like, you know, trying to maintain my title, and I had a bit of banter with Sir Termund a little bit earlier, and like all that was in good fun. I think that it is likely that there is a strong force that I'm willing to put forward, and I think there is like, I don't want to say that people have to prep even harder for me, but like they understand that I've got experience in this, and that they might need to like maybe not do a level 1 strategy, but a level 2 strategy, right, or something like that. But I think. I'm not as confident. I think like there are some really, really good players, and I've seen the people that you've been adding to the server, and like I'm not confident that I can beat all of them every single week.
Well, as long as you can win through finals like last time, that's all it's going to take. All right.
Yeah.
That basically wraps up our interview here today. If people are looking to follow your journey through the Champion Draft Series Season 2, where can they find you?
You can find me on my YouTube, which should be, if you just type in Spidz YouTube, you will find it, which is great because I love saying Spidz YouTube. But it's Spidz WT, because Spidz was taken at the time, on both YouTube, and sometimes I'll put stuff on Twitter that is basically telling you to go to my YouTube. So if you want more hyperlinks to YouTube, you can go to Twitter, but it'll just be on YouTube.
Awesome, yeah, and I'll make sure to include links, those links, and many links down below for those of you watching here. All right, so thanks again for joining us for this quick preseason interview, Spidz. Best of luck to you in the draft, and we can't wait to see your second journey through the Champion Draft Series with the rest of this competition.
Well, thanks for having me.